Hi everyone, Miss Alessandra here from the Weston Public Library, and it is week 5 of Summer Library Adventures. Our theme this week is No Place Like Home, and it's all about our pet animals, dogs, cats, bunnies, hedgehogs, fish, whatever pet you may have at home. We're going to be talking about those types of animals this week. And if you did sign up for Summer Library Adventures Part 2, you were able to pick up your craft kit for the 5 days of crafts this week. Inside that bag is this form, along with all the materials you would need for those 5 crafts. And I'm going to go over what they are in just a second. So if you would like to follow along and learn how to make the crafts, you can continue watching. For week 5, No Place Like Home, pet animals, these are all the things that came in your craft kit. I'm going to go through them as they pertain to each of the 5 crafts listed inside. Our first craft today is our tissue paper bunnies. So you are going to take out this bunny cutout, a piece of cardstock. You should have a pom-pom and tissue paper. That's what you'll need for that craft. The second craft is our pet fish, and for that you're going to take out another bright colored piece of cardstock, and you will need one of the googly eyes from the bag of googly eyes that's in your bag. The third is cat bookmarks, and you're actually going to be able to make 2. You should have 2 cat cutouts on cardstock like this. They might be yellow, white, or orange. Take those out. You're also going to need some more of the googly eyes, and there should be just a red piece of paper in there. The fourth craft is shape dogs. Inside your bags, you're going to have all of these random shapes. You should have 1 large rectangle, 1 small square, a bunch of these red rectangles, about 5 of them, 2 red triangles, 1 yellow triangle, and a green circle. And then for our last craft, you just need a paper plate. You'll also need from home that's not in your bags, crayons or markers, a pair of scissors, and then liquid glue or a glue stick. With that, if you would like to learn how to make any of these crafts, if the instructions here aren't enough for you, you can follow along with the video. Craft number 1 today is our tissue paper bunnies. So again, you're going to need your bunny cutout, a piece of cardstock, and you should have 3 pieces of tissue paper and a little pom-pom. You'll also need glue and scissors. The first thing that you are going to do is cut out your bunny and the feet. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. So I have gone ahead and cut out my bunny pieces, the bunny body, and 2 circles for the bunny feet. I'm going to put those aside. And the next step is to rip up the tissue paper that I have. You should have tissue paper in 3 colors. And what you're going to want to do is you can use scissors or you can tear them, but you're going to want to make some like squares. So the easiest way, I'm just going to cut it, but you can tear it if you don't have the scissors available right now. Just cut it into each one into 3 strips. And place those strips one on top of the other. And then you can go ahead and just cut little squares from this through the whole set of tissue paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll end up with a bunch of little squares that we're going to need for this project. I've cut out all my tissue paper, I've made little squares, and now I'm going to take my colored cardstock and I'm going to glue my tissue paper all over this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a lot of glue all over this paper. And once it's all over the paper, I can start gluing on my tissue paper pieces. That's going to take a little bit of time, so I'll show you a few and then I will go ahead and do the rest and come back when those are done. So like I said, you're literally just gonna go through. You can do it in any pattern you want, overlapping slightly, just putting tissue paper all over your cardstock. You can leave a little space between so that you can see the cardstock. That's fine. You just want all different colors all over the cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all my tissue paper on, and I'll be right back. So I've put all my tissue paper on my cardstock, and now I'm ready to glue on my bunny. My bunny body is going to go right in the middle here, and then I'm going to glue his feet onto the bottom of the bunny. So I'm going to put glue all over this. Okay, glue all over, right in the middle. Glue him down, right like that. And then his 2 feet, I'm going to also glue. So I've glued his 2 feet on the bottom of his bottom area here. It's supposed to look like our bunny is pointing his tail at us, so we're going to put his little pom-pom tail right in the middle of those 2 feet. And that is the tissue paper bunny. Craft number 2 is our Cardstock Pet Fish. Take out the piece of bright colored cardstock and 1 googly eye. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to start by folding your cardstock in half and cutting it in half the long way, or how some people refer to hot dog style. Okay. So cut down just like this. And then you're going to fold one of these pieces of paper in half like this. And in the front, we are going to cut out a little triangle for his mouth, right? Not necessarily the middle, a little bit lower than the middle. So this is his mouth, our fish's mouth right here. Our googly eye is going to get glued right there. Okay. So that you can just see his face. I'm going to put this on for now. All right. So there's his googly eye for his face. You are going to close him off over here in just a minute, but what we're going to do is we're going to take that other half here, fold it in half, and at this fold you're going to cut out a triangle, a big triangle. Okay. Like this. This triangle you're going to put inside that fold and then glue it down for his tail. So I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. So I've glued my fish and I kind of puffed him up a little bit so that there's an opening there, but that's what he looks like. Now remember, when we cut out his mouth, we should have a little triangle there. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut that triangle in half. Get out some markers or crayons. We are going to make a fin for him, and you're just going to put some lines down his fin, and his fin is going to get glued on over here. You can do it on both sides if you would like. That's why we made 2. And while you have that marker out, you can also put some scales on his tail. So I'm just doing some little scales here, and I'm going to put a little bit on his belly, and then I'm going to glue on his fins on his arms. Okay, or where his arms would be. They don't have arms, they have fins, right? So that is my pet fish. And you can go, if you have sequins at home, or you want to add in some more color, you can definitely add in more color. Make them a rainbow fish if you want. But that is our pet fish. Craft number 3 is one of my favorites. It is a cat bookmark, and you're actually going to be able to make 2 today. You should have 2 pieces of cardstock with the cat bookmark cutouts. You're going to go ahead and cut out all of these pieces, so the cat body, the cat tummy, the paws, and the feet on each piece. You'll also be needing 4 googly eyes for this, and 1 piece of red paper. But go ahead, cut out your cat pieces, and then come back and we will put together our cat bookmarks. So I've cut out all of my pieces for my cat bookmarks. I'm going to be making 2, and you should have 2 different colors of the cardstock. The reason is because one of your cat bookmarks will have the tummy of the other color cardstock. So I have an orange cat and a yellow cat. So I'm going to take the yellow tummy. That's going to go with my orange cat. And then the yellow top paws, the orange top paws and the orange bottom paws are going to go with the orange cat. And for my yellow cat, the orange tummy will go with the orange cat. The yellow top paws and yellow bottom paws will go with the yellow cat. So I'm going to work on the yellow cat first, and what I'm going to start with is the belly. I'm going to glue this on here, right on the belly, all the way at the bottom, and then the top paws, this is very important, is only going to get glued on the full length strip. So you're not actually gluing these little paws, you're gluing only this top part, okay? And they're going to get glued right at the top of that tummy. And our feet are going to be pointing up down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do my gluing of that for my cats, and I'll be right back. Glued my cat pieces on like this, and again I left the hands, the paw print, unglued at the top, because this is how your paper on your page of your book is going to get marked. You're going to slide this in and put it over the paper that you're marking as your bookmark. You're now going to take your red paper, and you're only going to need a little bit of it. I'm going to measure it based on the width of the cat. And this is to make a collar. I'm just making little strips. And then I'm going to use this also to cut out a small little triangle nose for each cat. So, teeny little triangle nose for each cat and a little red collar. That collar is going to go right above where my paw prints are. And then obviously the nose is going to go in the center of my cat, the cat face. And then we'll draw the rest of the face based on where that nose is. Okay, a little nose. I'm going to do it to both of my bookmarks here. Collar. And a little nose. Ooh. Little nose. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. I'm going to go ahead and glue my googly eyes on the face of my cats, right above where I put the nose. So that those eyes can stick. Okay. And now I'm going to draw a mouth and some whiskers. Nice little cat mouth down and some whiskers. And I'm also going to make little toe beans, because our cats have little toe beans on their toes and on their paws. On the tummy, I'm going to write, I love books. You can write whatever you want on the tummy. That's your area. You can write your name. You could do a little drawing. So those are my cats, and they'll be able to bookmark a page in my book. Again, just using their little paws. Once everything is glued down, it will mark the page. Just put those paws over the page. And those are our cat bookmarks. For craft number 4, it is using shapes to make dogs. And you don't have to glue these down. You can use your shapes to change the shape of your dog. But this is going to be your dog's head. This is going to be your dog's body. And then you have some other shapes. This is his little collar. This is his tail. These are his ears, which you can put at different angles. And then you have 2 red strips for his front paws or front legs, and 2 red strips for his back legs, as well as 1 tail. Now, in your instruction sheet, it shows 2 different ways that you can use these shapes. Again, you don't have to glue them so that you can do the different types of shaped dogs, but I'm going to glue them down just to show you what a shaped dog looks like. You can certainly put his face on. That's something that you would definitely want to do on the square, but I'm going to glue it down, and I'm going to be making this bottom shaped dog, but you can certainly go back and forth. Again, don't glue the pieces down, and you'll be able to make different shaped dogs. So I'm going to glue it just so that you can see one. So this is my shape dog. I use the rectangle as his body. He is in walking position. The yellow triangle is his tail. I did floppy ears flopping down with the 2 other red triangles. One of the red rectangles is his collar. Then he has his little name plate right here that the orange circle resembles. And then the other red rectangles are his legs. Again, you can do either of these shapes. You don't have to glue them. You can switch them. And I just drew on a face. And that is a shaped dog. For your 5th and final craft for this week, we are doing a plate hedgehog. The first part that you're going to do is take your paper plate and fold it in half. Then go ahead and color one side of this paper plate brown for your hedgehog. And then once it's brown, you're going to color the ridges black. All right, so you can go ahead and do that and come right back. So I've colored my paper plate, brown on the inside, black on the ridged part. These are going to be the porcupine's quills. And I'm going to now show you how to cut to make your porcupine. You're basically going to go from down here, round out this tip right here, and then you're going to go in and do a rounded triangle. So there's no point here, but it is going to basically be a triangle cutout, okay, but it's rounded on all sides. And that is going to help us to make our porcupine's face. Right here at the tip, I'm going to make a circle in black to make our, our hedgehog's nose. Okay, so that's his nose. And then right over here is going to be an eye where the cut is. So I'm going to put a nice black circle here to make an eye. Okay, and then near his eye, a little bit lower and behind, is going to be just a curve for his ear. And then down here is a curve for a mouth. So that's our hedgehog's face. Now you're going to want to go in, and on this rounded part on the inside, you're going to put some glue to keep your hedgehog's body together. So I'm going to glue it right now, just there. Okay, hold it together. And now on these ridges, you can use the back for a guide on each of these little strips. You're going to go ahead and cut it just until it reaches this circle. So what I mean is right here, right here, right here, because hedgehogs have quills like porcupines. That's why I kept saying porcupine. So these are going to be our hedgehog's quills. And I'm just cutting until I reach that circle, like so, all the way around. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fluff out those quills. They're not always perfect shape. Kind of just separate them like that. And that is our plate hedgehog. I hope you have fun with week 5, No Place Like Home, Pet Animals, and doing these crafts for part 2 due of our summer library adventures. We had a lot of fun making our tissue paper bunny. We had a lot of fun making our pet fish out of the cardstock. Of course, we're going to be using our cat bookmarks all summer. We love exploring shapes with our shape dog and having a pet hedgehog with our paper plate hedgehog. So I hope you enjoyed these crafts and I hope to see you soon. Have a great week.